Hey everyone, Ryan Kennedy here with the Start Guys, and we are in beautiful Rusinga Island, Kenya,
Yes.
which is very western Kenya. It sits on Lake Victoria. Some of you may have heard of Lake Victoria. Hey, and I am really excited to introduce you all to my friend here, Mike Wamaya. Mike has this incredible story. I want to introduce him for just a moment, and then I'm going to toss things over to him. Mike grew up in Kibera, which is one of the largest slums in the world. It's in Nairobi. And we were just talking a moment ago, and he said that, because he grew up in this slum, his passion now is to give back to the people there and to change the lives there. And he does this with the tool of dance. So Mike is a dance teacher. He teaches ballet, and he uses this as a tool to change the lives of kids and youth. So if you do any sorts of Google searches on Mike, you'll see that he was recently on CNN Heroes. He was also nominated as, am I saying this right, one of the top 10 teachers in the world?
Yes.
And
for
this
the
is
Global Teacher Prize.
the Global Teacher Prize.
Yeah.
So Mike has joined our team this week here in Rusinga Island, and he's just got this incredible story that I want you all to hear. So Mike, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks a lot.
And can you tell us a little bit about, dance is your big, it's your tool, how you got into this and why you got into this, your passion.
Yeah, to start with, I never had a chance to study any other form of skill. So I was, at 15, I was already working in a garage as a spanner boy. You bring in the tools for the mechanics to fix. But with the knowledge I had in terms of I could talk to people really well, I could convince people to buy a spare part. And so I felt, this is my strength. So one day I was walking to my work, and then there was a small poster of a dance group that, would you want to audition as a dancer? Yes, I had a passion on doing arts, but I didn't focus that much in dance because I didn't think dance would end up into being something. So then I came to the city, back to the city again, and passed my auditions, and here I am as a dance teacher. So I had chances to travel to the UK, and in Amsterdam I was dancing there also. So in 2008 I came back after being offered so many job opportunities in Europe, but I felt, I was given the knowledge in dance for free with this amazing woman, and I thought, I want to also share it. I want to also use it to change the living conditions that people have within the slums, because being brought up in the slums, I get to know the challenges the children are facing day by day. And the sad part is, I grew up in the 90s, and they're growing up in the late 2000s, and the challenges are all the same.
What are some of those challenges?
The challenges are you find kids, there's bad sanitation, there are no toilets, for instance. People use pit latrines that are not well maintained, so they are completely inhygiene. And
so sanitation
issues. Some people end up not having not being able to afford 3 meals a day. So sometimes now that people go to school, so you end up having 2 meals a day. And also just the perception of the concept of getting to know yourself, getting to know your self-worth, your values as a human being and your strength. So the kids lack that there. And so you end up finding that we always go around in a cycle, we are never popping out, because you're being taught by a teacher who was also from there. You're being taught, your parents have lived there their lives, so you're not exposed. So when you are even asked with options what do you want to do in life, you have none. And what do you have in front of you is just crime, prostitution, and teenage pregnancies is also very rampant there. So you find girls being pregnant at the age of 15, 16. They're already with babies and with lots of responsibilities that they can't afford. So that was my drive to go there and try and see the little thing I can do. And so I use dance just as a tool to get children to open up. I use dance as a tool to get them to learn how to express themselves, learn how to look at others in the eye, learn how to ask questions, and learn how to confront the challenges that they do face. And when a child starts asking questions, because also our education system is the other way around, the teacher is more superior than the students. And so I changed the whole thing, and now I'm even training teachers on how to approach students, so we could not be stuffing them with information, but sometimes getting information out of them.
Yes.
And with
yes.
that, we tend to find solutions. So you find a child would go back home and say, I want to start something. Some of them have started their own dance schools.
Some of your students.
Yes, in the slum. So I teach them, they go back, they share it with the other kids. And it's so beautiful to see, like, with nothing, because I've taught them to understand that it's not on the material things. Like, you see, we do ballet, and we are the worst ballet school in the world. We have no walls or no mirrors in the wall. We don't have dancing clothes. We rely on people donating their used dance clothes, which we use. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, you still don't need that. We don't have a good floor. It's really rough, like this one. It's a normal classroom. And once the school ends around 3, they bring all the desks out. We start dancing. They have to sweep it, they have to clean the place, so then they dance.
Yeah.
And children over the years have learned the concept of what you believe in, you work for it, you know. And
So did you all hear that? What you believe in, you work for.
you
it.
work for it, yeah. And
Yes.
so they work so hard in cleaning that studio, and we have a very huge.
So they have ownership of it.
They have ownership.
It's like their
Yes,
school.
it's
they
their thing.
protect it and clean
It's
it.
their thing,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of we have challenges in time, and maybe you've noticed that while you're here. We don't just keep time,
Yes.
but the children have learned the concept, because I realize that we can't teach adults how to keep time, but we can teach our own kids.
Yes.
So the children have also realized, like, when the bell rings, we clean this, even if the teacher is there or not. He
So
needs to
let
find
me
us
explain that
ready.
to our viewers for a moment. He said we have the challenge of time.
Yeah.
There's African time, which is there's a value of relationships and stopping to talk to people, and so there's not a big value on showing up somewhere on
Yes,
time.
yes.
But what Mike here is talking about is teaching children the value of when you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time to
Yes.
be there, or to start cleaning at a certain time when the bell rings, to actually clean and hold
Yeah.
hold a time
Yeah.
value.
And also, like, now keeping promises, like our children are used to performing in school, but only if they're being punished, because there is a lot of corporal punishment in schools, and we try to change that. Like, you don't necessarily need to be punished to perform in school. You actually need to be the school,
Yes.
you know, be the school, and it's working so well. I've now been doing it for 10 years now.
Okay, so I've got all sorts of questions.
Yeah.
For you. So you've been doing it 10 years.
Yes.
But you had other job opportunities all over the UK, right?
Yes.
So what was the one thing that was in here that pulled you back home to say, no, I want to do this in Nairobi, in the slums? I mean, why not go somewhere else and do it? Why come back home and do it?
Because first of all is the passion. I thought I want to change my neighborhood, and I don't need money to change it, or I don't need resources to change it. I asked myself, what is that tool that I have that I can use? And the
See,
only thing I could was dance.
Why I think that's so important is
Yeah.
because a lot of times people, they change and transform and develop,
Yeah.
and then they say, I want to leave my home and go somewhere else and do it.
Yes.
But you're saying you changed and transformed and developed,
And
but
then
you
I
want
came
to stay
back.
home
Yeah,
and do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think that's so powerful.
Yeah, because they need. I realized, like, you know, if I don't do it, then nobody else will.
Yeah.
And I just had to do it, and maybe there are repercussions in future with maybe getting old with no retirement or things.
Mhm.
But to me, my values in life are not money related. My values in life are more on cohesion.
Yeah.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
self-worth in kids. It is more on togetherness. Is more on people understanding each other, because we are still struggling as a country. For instance, with corruption, with crime, with teenage pregnancy, it's still very rampant.
Yeah.
And corruption is like the mother of them all. But we can never. I thought maybe I should go on the streets and riot about it, but that's not it. But we can teach our children to understand that corruption is evil, and corruption have made them be who they are now. And if we didn't have corruption, we would have been a complete different country. And you can never realize that when you already have responsibilities in life
Yeah.
and you have to provide to people. But you can realize that when you're young and work towards avoiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mike, can you share with us some of the struggles you've had to overcome, and maybe some of the struggles you're still facing today and living this out?
Yeah, it's there are lots of struggle, but like as a child, the first big challenge was not being able to go to school, and also seeing an entire community being swiped off by HIV and AIDS, and also seeing as a child not being able to provide,
Yeah.
to access meals, and seeing children on the streets. So that used to be a very huge struggle for me. But I tend to not talk a lot about my struggles because I don't see them as struggle. I saw them as just a bouncing thing that could propel you to who I am today,
Yeah.
And if I would dwell a lot on the challenges we've been facing, there are lots, but I always choose not to.
You see them as ways to
Yes,
to get somewhere
they
else.
always
They're
propel
stepping
you.
stones.
The challenges you face are just for that particular time. But
So, in closing, can you tell us if there's any final words of wisdom you have for someone that's sitting here watching your story, hearing what you're saying, and they're on the edge of starting something new in their life, taking a step forward? What would you say to them?
yeah, the most important thing, as I always tell everyone, is just realize your self-worth to the society. And when you're thinking of whatever you're doing, think of it into a global citizenship context. Like do something that not necessarily benefits you, but benefits so many other people around you. So yeah,
And that's where joy is found.
yes, that's how joy is found. Yeah.
Thanks for being with
Thank
us,
you.
Mike. I love what you're doing, man.
All the best. And I invite you guys to Kibera one day.
Yes, we're gonna try to put a team together and see what happens.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
guys are
know
welcome.
so many people, and you may be watching this video, and you are just totally digging what Mike is up to. And
Yeah.
hey, maybe we can get a partnership going and do
course.
something big.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll have more stories coming your way. We're out. Peace.